A year and a half ago, I bought an E30. I was super excited to rebuild it and make some crazy content on it, and then I stopped. And then I began again, and then I stopped again. I know, unacceptable. Well, starting today, we aren't planning to stop. For those of you guys that didn't catch those previous videos, here's a small recap. The car was purchased sight unseen for $3,000 in 1989 325 IS. Sadly, the car was in pretty bad shape and definitely looked better in pictures, but hey, you can't win every gamble. I gave the car a very good interior clean and then attempted to restore the interior by reupholstering the seats, replacing some beat up interior pieces, and replacing the cracked dashboard with a non-cracked one. Oh yeah, and I installed a custom steering wheel from Aza Auto Wheel. The final result was simply amazing. All the stressful hours paid off. After finding out that the engine was pretty much useless, we decided to hook up some nitrous and have a little bit of fun with the car. That did not end too well, as expected of course. At this point, I figured it would be a perfect time for an engine swap, so I got a hold of an S54 from an E46 M3 only to find out that the engine was toast. That and the fact that I had a major rust problem by the sunroof turned me off from the build. Now a few months have passed and I'm glad to say that I'm more motivated than ever before to continue the build. Well, I'm happy to say that the E30 is actually going to get a little bit of love today. It's a car that I've neglected for way too long since you guys don't really watch the episodes. I don't find it worth putting the time into this car for that reason. I do a lot of work on it off camera, but I've decided, thanks to this guy over here, he was able to convince me that we're going to put some serious work into the car. We're not going to mess with the outside of the car at all. We're going to focus on the drivetrain. Enough is enough. I've had this car for almost 2 years and I've never drove the damn car other than the whole nitrous experience. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the M20 engine from the car, try to clean up the engine bay, show you guys what engine is gonna go inside. It's not the S54 anymore because there was an issue with that engine. It's actually a different route we're going and I think you guys are gonna like it. So I'll show you guys that in a bit. Just so you guys can see what the engine bay looks like before we start tearing stuff down. Here's where we shot this is where we shot the nitrous oxide into, right into the intake manifold. The good thing about these engines, you know, from 30-year-old cars is that they're pretty simple to disassemble, and since we don't need half of the in here, we might just start breaking and cutting shit. What's staying on there? This.
The fuse box. We're gonna keep the brake booster and stuff for now, but we're gonna delete that later on. Obviously, we're not gonna spoil everything right now because people need to watch this.
Yeah, we need you guys to like the video, share the video, and keep watching the future episodes.
This might be more fun than an E90 in the future. I'm just saying, that's just me.
I've been super excited for this build. It was good. It's supposed to be like an OEM plus build at first, but with everything that's going on with the car, I just want to drive the car. I want to have fun with the car. And I think the swap is going to make it much easier to enjoy it. Plus, I kind of want to just slide around, drive the car fast, and just have fun with it. Keep it stock-ish or whatever, however it looks like now. It'll look a little bit like a sleeper. And if I crash the car, it won't really feel too bad, since I didn't really spend I didn't spend that much money on the outside yet. Way overdue, but it was finally time to take the engine out. First thing was to take off the various parts from the front end to make sure I don't damage them, such as the headlights, the front bumper, and the grills. Front fan would get removed as well as the radiator and all the AC components, since we aren't really planning to run AC, initially at least. These trims right here, you can probably refurbish them, but I'm just too lazy for that, so I'll probably just buy new ones and trash these. Who knows? Like I said, I'm not really going to focus on the exterior of the car. I want to make sure that the car runs. We have the engine in the car. I get to have a little bit of fun with it, and then later on we decide what we're going to do with the car. Oh my God! I had to pull the camera out of the tripod just so we can show you what's in there. Is that Cheerios?
I don't know. This is supposed to be coolant. I'm sure the thermostat is working properly.
For all you BMW purists that want me to save this engine, yeah, I'll pass. Last thing left to do was to disassemble the parts underneath the car, like the drive shaft, mounts, and lines.
Thanks.
This is what healthy trans mounts are supposed to look like. Overcooked. Here's what we got left. All these cut into brake lines. Oil cooler has to come off here. And let me show you everything we took off. Yep. Anybody want any of this? Draft shaft came off as well, and we should be ready to drop the motor here anytime soon once at least done with this final touches. I'm gonna go ahead and take this moment and show you guys the engine that's gonna be going on the E30. I think you guys are gonna really like this choice. And here it is. Yep. S52 swap. It's a very common swap done to the E30s. They're relatively easy and there's a lot of documentation online. I figured I'd go this way. Originally I was going to go with the S54, but the engine that I ended up acquiring was actually pretty bad. I didn't want to go that route. So I decided to go with the S52. I was thinking M50 for like a turbo build, but S52, it's going to be it. There's actually an S54 in the shop as well, but that one's going to go into this E30 wagon, which is really freaking cool, guys. Very cool. So the plan for this engine is to keep it NA, no forced induction, ITBs, independent throttle bodies, make some pretty good power. Ali says we could probably make 300 to the wheel, which is more than enough for an E30 that barely weighs anything. So I'm very excited for that, guys. Make sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of the episodes. We'll continue disassembling things on the E30 now, and then we'll probably install the engine on a future episode, probably just the next episode. So make sure to subscribe with the notification bell on. It's not something you guys want to miss out on, and I know a lot of you guys have been thirsty, extremely thirsty for E30 content. Well, here's your opportunity to support the build and watch the videos. All right, it's time. Ultimately, we decided to drop the engine rather than to lift it out, since it'll be much easier to leave the suspension and subframe attached. Drop it all at once, remove the subframe, and put it back on the E30 so we can roll the car. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, this thing looks clapped out. A lot of residue everywhere. Remember, this was post Nitrous.
Yeah, I remember it seeping through here.
Hey, dog.
Fresh oil change, bro. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Now the engine was out, it was time to attempt to clean the engine bay as good as possible, which I knew would be pretty challenging. Even though I was planning to leave the exterior how it was, I wanted the swap to look clean and very presentable when I popped that hood. So he retired the engine over here. Now we're just gonna bolt the subframe back into the car so we can roll it up front and we can clean that engine bay. I need my heat shield though. So before we start pressure washing, I want to show you guys the potential of how clean we can get this engine bay. This is what it looked like before. Yeah. Yep. And then, oh my God, fresh off the lot, bruh.
Yep. Totally.
There you go. And then go ahead and get a dry side. Stink. Oh yeah. Alright guys, so this is what we have so far. We got most of the stuff out. There's some stains and some really hard oil and grime stains, which I'm probably gonna go ahead and take care of off camera, but it looks miles better than what it looked like before. So this is a very good start. We'll probably get the car inside of the shop, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. So make sure like the video if you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more, make sure to subscribe, and as always, see you guys in the next video.